Am I not enough for you anymore? This is the question many readers will hear when they bring the idea of SEH to their life partner, suggesting that they each look for another energetic healing partner. The feeling of not being enough is deeply rooted in all of us, and no one should say, "Oh, that's just the ego." Not being sufficient can be experienced as very painful. Each human being perceives their own pain in a different way and with different intensity. Therefore, we cannot allow ourselves to judge the feeling of another. Can both partners honestly name which of their personal needs are being met well, moderately well, or not so well in their relationship? Perhaps we feel sufficiently loved, but we cannot give enough love because the partner does not like the chosen form of communication. Perhaps we feel loved, but still lack physical closeness with the soul because the partner does not seek closeness or even has a strong desire for distance and aloneness. In such cases, SEH can make a balancing and harmonizing contribution to the relationship, provided that all parties involved communicate honestly and lovingly with each other, and no set boundaries and no-goes are crossed. Perhaps completely different inner topics, wishes, or ideas arise. It is often worthwhile to write them down, because it brings additional clarity and commitment to our thinking and feeling. It also helps us remember which relationship issues we can continue to work on together. There are many relationships where the partner is actually not enough. Maybe it even works out okay in bed, but one of them doesn't like cooking together, or caressing, or tickling, or blowing in the ear, or SEH, or conscious sensuality. We are then content with each other because the partner has so many other wonderful qualities. If this can be experienced with a full heart, there is nothing to be said against it. In some partners, however, there is then an unfulfilled emptiness of growth in certain areas. In these cases, being content and settling for this can also represent a suppression of the fullest potential. We give up a part of ourselves, and then this usually moves into our inner shadow part world. The pressure that builds up eventually gives birth to concealment, lying, and cheating. So why not deal with our own shadow issues in an adult way and communicate them lovingly and honestly in our relationship? But what to do when the pain of not being enough stings and torments us because our ego is afraid of losing our partner? It wants to protect us and save us from the pain of loss. We can be grateful to it for that. Gratitude automatically brings us to our heart chakra. Let us imagine how we breathe through the heart chakra. Let's think and feel with our heart. How does it feel then? Can we still feel fear when the power of love is safely carrying and guiding us? Yes, but perhaps it has now become bearable and manageable in the greater light of our love. The risk of losing one's love or life partner to another soul exists at all times. There is no functioning protection, even if we try to do so with wedding rings and promises. We try to keep cheating or even flirting away from our lives with all kinds of rules, but even with that we only push our fear of loss into our inner shadow corner and try to fight against it in order not to have to experience it. When the cheating happens because of unfulfilled desires, we doubt ourselves and the sincerity of our partner. We blame and punish each other, although we wanted to love each other. Sometimes we give so much focus and energy to our fears and shadow feelings that they are fulfilled all by themselves, because Gaia, or a higher spirit, God, the universe, creation, fulfills our desires without evaluating them. What we feed into the common field of consciousness, we will receive. We constantly project our own waking dream world to ourselves, depending on the feelings and thoughts we carry within us. And what if, after getting to know an energetic healing partner, The partner actually wants to leave the existing relationship because it has become unbearable for him or her. For some, it would be the famous worst-case scenario, the worst possible experience. For others, after a certain period of adjustment, it would be a liberation and reorientation. Everyone evaluates it differently, and perhaps both partners can feel and sense a bit of both perspectives within themselves. And then we embrace and forgive each other, hold each other, love each other, adore each other. Maybe this is how we start a process of inner clearing and forgiving, for example with the help of a couples therapist or coach. Isn't that a very good basis for maybe staying together after all, or for getting together again in a whole new way? If we walk towards love with each other, if we communicate honestly and lovingly, hugging or holding hands in the process, then we can decide anew whether and how we want to continue to limit our love in order to want to protect the relationship. For some couples it is better to stay with established boundaries. Others find a new common ground on how to experience SEH with other energetic partners as well, thus strengthening and harmonizing the love relationship. Perhaps the participants also decide to share the experience with one or two other people, or two couples meet and experience themselves anew together and exchange experiences with each other. The focus is not on controlling rules and boundaries, but on the shared experience with each other, the shared joy of meditative and loving sensing and being. The shared experience builds trust and understanding for all involved. We are empathically much more connected when we see or are seen with our partner in a loving embrace. If we wish, we can put ourselves in the place of one of the involved souls as an observer and empathize. Our mirror neurons can allow us to feel some intense empathy. Each couple and each partner finds the best solution for themselves, for each other and with each other.